Hello guys, welcome back to the show. It's Jake. I wanted to just give a quick little update on some things that you should know if you haven't known yet. And that thing is I do podcast nights every Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What are podcast nights? Great question. Podcast nights are when I host a event in virtual reality in VRChat. I set myself up off in some corner of the world, and people can come up and have one-on-one conversations with me to be on a podcast. And it's being streamed live on Twitch while it's happening at twitch.tv/JakePhobia. If you want to be on the podcast or just be around for podcast nights, make sure to join the Practically a Podcast VRChat group at prcpod.3644. You get notified and you can schedule and get a reminder for when these podcast nights... Oh, I just hit my water bottle. For when these podcast nights are happening. God, I hope that all made sense. It made sense in my brain, so I hope that makes sense. The events are going to be age verified, particularly in the World Drinking Night. I figured Drinking Night is a good little social place to do a lot of different stuff. You know, I think most of the people that listen to this drink. But I want to switch it up. I don't want it to just be a drinking world the whole time. I have so many ideas that I just can't do right now. And I'm going to sound very egotistical right now, but I can't do them because we don't have that big of an audience right now. But I see it. I see it. There's something here, you know? I don't want to say what I have in mind just yet, but I got plans. I have world ideas for the podcast. I have, if this goes fucking crazy, this is the dream goal is a non-profit thing. That'd be really cool. Or not necessarily non-profit, but a community that supports people in a sense. I'm super vague right now, but it'll it's vague. Just let me cook. All right. Merch ideas, I guess. I don't know. Just dreams, I guess. Just dreams right now. So I don't know. There's something here. I can feel it. I can feel it in my planets. All right, I'm done yapping. Everything you're going to hear on this podcast or in future podcasts is most likely 9 out of 10 times going to be from podcast nights, which is why you should join. So everything you're going to hear in this podcast was live on Twitch in the first ever podcast night event. So there you go. All right, enjoy the show. I'm done talking. Hi. Hey, dude.
Hello.
Who the fuck are you? It's good seeing you.
My name's Jerix. Yeah, my name's Jerix.
Hi, Jerix.
Today, we're going to be talking about my experience in the military.
Your experience in the military.
Army.
Okay.
Yeah,
I am
served
lagging.
5 years active duty.
Oh, there we go. All right, I'm good.
Oh,
We're good.
okay. Honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It definitely was something that I had to, kind of feel my way into, just because, to be fairly honest with you, I guess I should start from the beginning. Before I joined the military, I worked at Walmart as a stalker. I worked at Walmart as a stalker,
thing.
and I went.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, so I would work as well, I mean, sometimes it felt like that, but no, I would stock fresh produce and stuff like that at Walmart, and then eventually I got tired of doing that, so I decided that I would do something kind of random. And honestly, like, I feel like I just wanted to do something where I felt like what I was doing was meaningful, if that makes any sense.
Right.
And so I got really fed up because this was like my second or third retail job where I just didn't really, like, my work wasn't really important. I didn't feel like I was doing anything.
Oh, yeah.
And so on a random Wednesday, I decided that I was going to go to the recruiting office, and I did. And I went to the recruiting office for the Army. The fucking Air Force one was closed. They were out on lunch, so unfortunately they didn't get me. But the Army one, they were there. And my first red flag probably was at the Army recruiting office, because I remember they made me take an ASVAB test, and they forgot that I was in like this. They made me take an ASVAB test, and I was like in the back of the office.
Test?
So an ASVAB test is basically like an aptitude test.
Okay.
So like it basically like a brief knowledge check and like how much you know, like would you be suitable for X, Y, or Z. And so they had me take this ASVAB test, and I got a 71 on it, which is probably not the best. It's not the worst. There definitely are worse out there. But my 71% was able to actually get me a job as a radio technician. As a 25...
For the Army?
Yeah, I was able to be a radio technician. And I was a 25... What was I? I was a 25... I wasn't a 25 hotel yet. I was a 25... Shoot, what was it? November. That's what it was. I was a 25 November. That was a nodal support operator.
So you were I'm just recapping here. You were unhappy with your job at Walmart.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
done with retail.
Fuck this. This is not this is not meaningful. Yeah. And then you're like, all right, I'm gonna join the military. And then
on a random Wednesday.
Random Wednesday.
Which I know.
You were just kind of like, fuck this. Was there any other ideas you had? Or were you just kind of like, fuck it, I'm going on a whim, I'm just going to join this and do it?
I mean, to be fairly honest, like with the work experience that I had at the time, I'd only been working in retail for maybe about 3 or 4 years at that point. And my resume didn't exactly look great because that's all I did. I just worked in retail. So I was like, all right, well, you know, I've been thinking, because I contemplated the idea in the back of my mind for a year or two. Like, you know what, I bet I would be living a lot much happier if I went out and did this. And eventually, you know, just, I guess curiosity got the best of me, or, you know, just getting fed up with the daily dull fucking experience of, oh yes, of course, you know, go to work, wake up, you know, wake up, go to work, fucking do my 9 to 5, clock out, go home, have a beer, fucking play video games with friends, go to sleep, wake up, go to work. It just, that sort of business was not very appealing to me. I didn't feel like my life was going anywhere. Sure, I was getting paid. Sure, the pay I was getting was decent, but it wasn't decent enough to actually like support myself, like in any sort of meaningful way.
This was just like a lunge, you know, into something. You're like, all right,
let's try something different.
Yeah, let's try this. Yeah. So, what was your experience like? You know, getting into this. You said you were a radio technician. You know, what was that like for you? What was what was that journey like?
So for basic training and AIT were quite a wild ride. For basic training, you know, I was around a lot of other individuals. I would say probably their call to arms as to why they wanted to join was perhaps a little bit more noble than mine, because I was just, I was just bored. I just wanted to do something. And they were actually talking about like how, well, my great granddaddy, he served in the military and he went over to Normandy. He died at Normandy Beach on World War II. He got shot by a Nazi. And like, I'm just over here like, yeah, man, I just got tired of working at Walmart. I just went out on a whim and just fucking wanted to try something different. I got fucking bored.
Yeah, the duality of
just the duality of man.
Of direction. Yeah, the duality of man. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking. And there were some guys there. I made a lot of friends in basic training. I made friends with a few people. There was one guy in particular. This guy, he was we're gonna call him Alabama, because he was from Alabama.
Okay.
And so Alabama, he joined for small business benefits, and he had a very unique way in which he would talk. And he sounded something like between someone who is backwoods redneck and someone who would smoke like 20 packs of cigarettes a day.
Okay. So what
who
was this guy to you? No. What is this leading up to?
Basically, my friendship with him throughout my basic training and my AIT and all that stuff, but just like he would have the wildest stories. He would basically always talk to me about like how his life in Alabama was so much worse because he had a lot of crazy family that he had to deal with. Like I remember some of his more crazier stories were, my mom and dad, they would have gunfights in the house. Like he would actually say that. And there was like one time, like, like I grew up on Meth Mountain in Alabama. Like seriously, he would say that.
Oh man!
And I was like, he was a very colorful guy. He was a very colorful guy, and I'll never forget him. And I think honestly, if it wasn't for people like that in basic training, I would have actually lost my fucking mind, because there was like other 50 something other guys all pent up in a fucking room together. They're losing their minds, testosterone's overflowing, they're fucking ready to either beat the shit out of the first thing they see or fuck it. So it's just a wild ride. In fact, actually, probably a lot of the escapades in basic training, the stories that I have, there was a lot of the time, like when I first got to basic training, my first thought was I might be in a little over my head. For someone who, from coming from what
how old are you?
I was like,
getting into
so I was like, I was 22. I was 22 years old.
Okay.
And so my first thought was I might be in a little over my head, especially because of the reasoning as to why I came here.
Yeah.
But, like it worked out in the end, but there was a lot of guys, like I said, they were very patriotic. They were very like, oh, I'm doing this for my country. I'm doing it because my parents did it. I'm doing it because my great grandfather died in World War II. All that stuff. So for me, I kind of felt like a piece of shit, because I was just like, I got bored on a random Wednesday afternoon and decided to go into the recruiting office.
Did people give you shit for that?
If they did, I didn't hear it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I definitely do remember one of my drill sergeants, they gave a speech and they were just like, I know y'all didn't just come in on a random afternoon and just decided to join. And I was just like, I was like, oh fuck. And I didn't I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything because I knew that they were going to chew my ass out. So I was like, all right, well, I already knew, where I was. So I wasn't about to fucking expose myself. But there was a lot of stuff that happened in basic training. Like we had this one incident where this guy, he got into an argument with another person, and in the same bay. And for whatever reason, he thought it was a great idea when the guy turned around to, talk to his other friends across his bunk. He was going to grab his rifle, because this was during white phase, where we actually had our rifle. There was red phase, white phase, and blue phase. And that's the things that you go through. And so white phase, you actually get an M4. and that's your weapon. That's basically your thing that you keep with you at all times.
Right.
Make sure it's safe. They have like these little yellow devices on the muzzle. They're called BFA, blank fire adapters. You're supposed to have that on the muzzle of your M4 at all times. And so this guy got into an argument with another person, and the guy turned around to talk to his friends or whatever. This guy took his M4 with his BFA adapter, and he like stuck it. He tried to fucking shove it right up the other guy's ass. With the BFA on and all. Yeah. Yeah. So
what does the nozzle of this look like? You said it's a yellow tip, but like what? Like is it like just an attachment to the barrel, or is it like
it's probably like
is it like is it butt plug shaped, you know? Like would it go up?
So think of a 1 by 1 inch square. Think of a 1 by 1 inch square that's yellow, that has like a little like pin on the top of it that you would screw to fasten it to the tip of the barrel.
Okay.
And so he tried to shove this thing up this other guy's ass.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah.
And you were there for this.
And I was. It happened in the same bay that I was.
Okay.
So for the majority of my time when I was in basic training, I shit you not, I was very lucky. I had a bed that was in the corner with a wall locker. So what I would do is I would pull out the wall locker. I wasn't very religious, but I had like a little Bible, because that's all the material you could read. You would just have like religious texts that you could read. And so I got my little pocket Bible. And so I'd read my little pocket Bible behind my wall locker in between the wall, and I would just fall asleep in that little crack. And that's what I would do for most of my time when I was in basic training.
Okay.
Yeah. And while that was happening, someone was getting a BFA shoved up their ass. So I didn't even know. And so, you know, that's a big deal, right? That's a big fucking deal. You're not supposed to do that. And
I don't think you should be shoving guns up other soldiers' asses.
Well, you know, you get a group of guys in a room together, locked in there long enough. Like I said, testosterone's overflowing.
True.
They're gonna fight or fuck the first thing they see.
That's
so,
true.
anyways, this guy tried to shove a BFA up this other guy's ass, and then what happened after that was we had a conversation with our SHARP representative, and what SHARP stands for is Sexual Harassment and Response Prevention.
Okay.
So basically, this SHARP representative, it was a guy at the time, he comes in and he sits us all down, and you know, there's like all 60 of us crammed into a room. We're sitting crisscross applesauce on the floor while he actually sits behind a desk. And you know, he looks at all of us and he just kind of shakes his head a little bit, kind of in disbelief, and I was in disbelief when I heard it too. He was like, "Soldiers, you can't shove gun barrels up each other's asses. It's not allowed." They had to get a motherfucker to come tell us, "Hey, bro, you're not allowed to shove gun barrels up other people's asses."
So,
by the way,
was this the first time you were hearing about this? When this guy
that was the first time, because like again, like I was knocked out behind my wall locker reading my little pocket Bible.
Right. You didn't hear any like commotion or anything. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I mean, well, yeah, sure. I mean, there would be guys yelling and cussing and fucking, you know, joking around, but like, I mean, I couldn't tell the difference between that and someone, you know, having that happen to them.
Right.
So I didn't realize that it happened. But like, you know, that happened. And then we had another thing happen when I was in basic training where, and this is the stupidest fucking thing. And like the thing was, I was friends with one of the guys. And I swear to God, this guy probably didn't do it. Because like, I think the other guy was just basically trying to get, I don't know what happened. I don't know what the motive was, but I think he was just trying to get one of my friends in trouble. But what had happened is in one of the neighboring platoons, this guy went to one of the drill sergeants, and they told the drill sergeant there, like, "Drill sergeant, I gave oral sex to this guy and he didn't give it to me back."
He went up to the sergeant and said that?
Yeah. Like, we made a verbal agreement that I would suck him and then he would suck me, and he didn't do it back. And so then what happened after that?
Wait, is this you and this other guy, or are you saying you as in?
So this was like this random ass guy from another platoon that was talking about one of my friends that I had at the time.
Gotcha.
In my platoon.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so what happened is like, yeah, that guy from the random ass platoon, the random ass guy, he said that apparently he performed a sexual favor on this other person that I knew, and he didn't do it back as they verbally agreed on, and that was a problem.
Drill Sergeant, he didn't give me head.
He didn't give me head back, Drill Sergeant. He did not fulfill the contract that we made. And so like, it's like self-reporting yourself.
That's fucking wild.
So like, anyways, it is. And so like, what happened next? What do you think happened next? Right, the sharp representative came back.
Beat.
The sharp representative came back, and of course he sat us all down, and of course, you know what he told us? He said, "Soldiers, you're not allowed to suck each other off." They had to pay somebody to say that to us, by the way. Someone's job was that, dude. Someone's fucking job was that, to go tell people, "Hey man, you can't do that. You can't suck each other off." Man, imagine getting paid for that. That's fucking wild, isn't it? So anyways, yeah, so that was like the beginning of when I joined the military. Just the beginning.
God, okay. All right.
That was just the fucking beginning.
What are some other
training?
What are some other key moments that you got to experience? Well, before that, how long were you in the military for?
Just 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, just 5 years. It wasn't really that long, but it was long enough to where I decided that I didn't want to pursue this. I got out and I stayed out, and I'm gonna stay out. I'm not gonna go back. But you know, I got to go around the world twice. I got to see Thailand. I got to see the Philippines. That was very nice. I appreciated that. That was very good. I have a lot of pictures of Thailand temples, and I've actually climbed a few temples in Thailand around the Bangkok area, and I've taken a lot of pictures of that when I was over there. That was pretty cool. Yeah, the nightlife in Bangkok is fucking crazy, dude. Like, it is nothing like you would ever see anywhere else in America. Like, VRChat can only grimly compare to what some of the things that you could do over there in Bangkok.
Oh, yeah.
For nightlife. Yeah. Like, they're like, I mean, that's probably another story. Well, yeah, who cares? But anyways, yeah, so fast forward. So, like, you know, like AIT happens. I go through AIT. I get to my actual unit. My actual unit tells me I'm a dumb piece of shit because everything that AIT taught me, which is advanced individual training, in case you're curious, advanced individual training, where they taught me like how to work on servers and stuff. I got to my actual unit. They told me that everything I learned for 6 months in AIT was completely useless. Fucking forget about everything. We're gonna have to reteach you.
Good.
Yeah, so I know I wasted my time. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's so great. But, you know, so they had to reteach me everything, so I had to work with a plethora of radio systems. I had to learn how to build antennas and all that stuff, and eventually I got good enough to where I could be put on not a deployment. They call it a rotation, because technically we're not at war. So I went to Bangkok, and Bangkok was fucking crazy, dude. Like, the fucking nightclubs, like I said, like, Bangkok, I mean, Thailand is a beautiful country. It's very tropical. If you don't really like wet heat, you're probably not going to like it very much. But to me, born and raised in Texas, I loved it because I was used to heat, wet and dry. So it was perfect for me. I loved it. And yeah, like I said, like the nightlife in Bangkok was just fucking crazy. Like, there was clubs, there was tons of people. I remember one time I was in Bangkok and I met this British guy. He was a car salesman, a used car salesman. He had his own business and everything. And I was talking to him, you know, back and forth. And I remember, like, we went to a few clubs and it was great. Everything was awesome. And then eventually he started to talk to me. He's like, "All right, mate. Well, listen, all right? This is your first time in Bangkok, yeah? All right, listen. you gotta try it at least once. You gotta go to a ladyboy bar. And I'm like, there's no fucking way this guy's about to take me to a ladyboy bar. There's no fucking way this guy's about to take me to a ladyboy bar in fucking
So
Thailand.
wait, so you went to a femboy bar in Thailand?
Nope, didn't. We never made it. We never made it.
Okay.
This fucking drunk ass motherfucker from Britain. Like, he was like, all right, mate, listen, you have to try it at least once, right? You got to try it out. So you know how you like, if you like it or not. Have you ever been? And I was like, no, I've never fucking been to a bar like that. He's like, you got to try it. And so I was like, all right. So I immediately knew right there that this fucking guy was fucking crazy. He had something going on, but like, he was into,
you said you're in Thailand?
I was in Thailand, yeah.
He was into Taiwanese femboys.
Clubs.
He just really liked Taiwanese femboys, dude.
Thailand. He really liked Thailand femboys. Like, because like the clubs that we went to were, there were a couple of strip clubs, and they were fucking crazy.
Taiwanese is Taiwan.
Yeah, Taiwanese is Taiwan.
I'm a little
talking about Thailand.
I'm
right,
dumb.
Dude. Don't worry about
it. I'm a little stupid.
I'm dumb too. I fucking followed a fucking drunk British guy that told me that he was going to take me to a ladyboy bar, got fucking drunk and confused, and took me to a Burger King instead. Like, that's fucking literally the interaction that I had with this guy. So, which they have Burger King in Thailand, by the way, and it's amazing. It's a lot better than American Burger King, somehow. I don't know how the fuck they did it, but they did it. So they beat us. But yeah, man, just this guy, like I said, like he was gonna take me to a ladyboy bar. Fucking never made it. We went to a Burger King instead. That was probably one of my crazier nights when I was in Thailand. Every other night that I had in Thailand, aside from the British guy, was pretty tame. It was pretty, like I would go party, I would go hang out, listen to music. Go drinking, pick up a chick or something, and it was great. It was amazing.
Hell yeah.
But that was my time in Thailand. The Philippines, I didn't exactly have the same. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, what were you saying about the Philippines?
The Philippines, I didn't really get a chance to really explore. I was more on a tight leash when I was in the Philippines. The only thing that I really remember from the Philippines is that I really love Red Horse, which is like a local beer that they have there, and San Miguel, which is also another local beer that they have.
I've heard that the Filipinos make really good beer. I've heard about that.
They do. I really enjoyed it while I was over there. It was like we would go to clubs and it was fucking crazy. And they also had, here's the thing, right? Like, American clubs suck ass. You need to go to these Southeastern Asian countries and go to their fucking clubs over there. Like, they are fucking popping off. Like, they go way harder than any American club that you could ever go to.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to be careful about the British people. The fucking British people are probably the worst out of the whole equation, because you'll have really old British guys come up to you and be like, "Hello there, I'm looking for," they would basically be looking for women, and they would ask you if you knew any women that would want to hook up or anything. And it's just get the fuck away from me, you old geezer. Get away from me.
So
I don't know anything.
So what are you doing now? Now that you're out of the military?
I'm just chilling. I'm really just chilling out, I'm planning on going back home to Texas because that's where I'm originally from. I'm going to go back down to my small town with my family. My family has been, my mother more specifically, she's been worried sick. She wants me to come back home. I have a lot of family that are really looking forward for my safe return back, especially because I missed Christmas last year. I missed Christmas and I missed Thanksgiving.
That's a whole other key component here. What did your family think about you going into the military?
My dad hated it. My dad, I think honestly, in hindsight, my dad, he was onto something. He definitely had some insight that I didn't have, and he
was like, "This guy's gonna get pulled to a femboy bar out in East Asia.
No, yeah, he's gonna fucking get lured in by, hello, love.
Yeah.
Would you like to come
My
to
son's
a
gonna
femboy
get.
bar
My son's
with
gonna
me?
fuck
Like
a
some
femboy out in
fucking
East Asia, dude. It's
you're
gonna
gonna
happen.
get molested by these femboys. It's like no, like no. It's just more so overall that it's a sentiment that I think that he was trying to get across to me that I didn't quite understand at the time, and that sentiment was, son, they're going to send you across the world, and you're going to go to a lot of different countries that don't give a fuck about you.
Yep.
And like your purpose there is just defending their government that doesn't also give a fuck about you. And in hindsight, I realized that perhaps he was right. He was definitely right. I went to, like, as great as these countries were that I got to visit, like, most certainly their governments don't care about you. The people may, I mean, yeah, sure, the people probably care about you a little bit, but they don't care if you die, right? Like, yeah. So,
Right.
you know, it's, now in hindsight, I realize that perhaps, you know, everything that I've accomplished and everything that I've earned while I was in the military, I probably could have earned outside of the military. I think really the only thing that I got out of this is just world experience, get out, see the world, get an opinion on, you know, a thing or two, and it helped me grow as a person, yeah, but looking back at it now, it's like,
Let me ask you let me ask you my second to last question for you. Do you think it was worth it going through all this?
To an extent, yeah. I would say it was worth it. I wouldn't do it again. To anyone that is thinking about it or anything, make sure that you actually have like a very decent reason as to why you're going in, not just you got bored on a Wednesday afternoon and just decided that you were going to go do something. Don't do that. That was probably a big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of pleasant experiences. I met a lot of great people. It was a privilege really working with a lot of them. I had a very overall easy job because it was easy because I was decent at it. That's the only reason why it was easy. If I was fucking clueless, then it would be a lot harder.
I think that ties into my last question for you really quick. Is what do you see yourself doing now as you move back to Texas? Like what are some careers you're thinking of pursuing?
Well,
what ultimately?
I'm probably going to try to work in
IT.
IT.
What's next? What's next for you?
Well, I'm going to go back to, you know, being the life of a son, you know, to my parents, going to be their son again. You know, they don't have to worry about me going off across the world and doing dumb shit. Return back to my family. Get a job somewhere. Go to online college. I get it. You know, that's the great thing about, you know, being in the military is now that I'm out, I get like, I get help with credential assistance and stuff like that with college. So,
yeah,
you know, I basically can go to college for free because of the fact that I'm a veteran. I get the Hazelwood Act in Texas, so I can actually go to college for free with the Hazelwood Act. So that's even more college that I can do. Just basically resume life where it left off. That's basically it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You've absorbed You've absorbed all this knowledge, right? You've gathered your experience, and now you get to decide, you know, where can this take me? And it's a new chapter. New chapter in life, dude.
I think so. It's going to be great. It's definitely going to be better because, like, at least now, is like I get to choose what I want to do now.
Yep. Hell yeah.
I don't have to be told what to do.
Oh yeah, brother.
And so it's great. I enjoy myself. I'm enjoying myself. Right now, I'm kind of like on vacation right now before I go back down to Texas before the holiday seasons. And yeah, man.
Hey, cheers to that,
enjoying
brother.
Life. Cheers, dude.
I have water, but you know, it's still a liquid,
dude.
right? Hey, cheers,
dude, I
fellas!
can't believe you're drinking water, bro. Bro, fish have sex in that, bro. You need to drink some alcohol, dude.
I love fish water.
I love fish sex.
I love fish fuck water. Yummy, yum, yum.
Fish fuck water. Yeah, man. But yeah, it was a very interesting experience. Met a lot of interesting people. It was a privilege, and I most certainly will never forget it. Made a lot of great friends while I was in.
Hell yeah. Well, Jerix, I wish you the best on your new chapter.
Dude.
Yeah, brother.
Oh, you left me hanging. You left. Oh.
Hold on. There's VRChat latency. You gotta give me time, brother. There you go. Is there any final words you'd like to say to anyone listening?
He's gonna go, and then I'm gonna go after him.
Shout out to my boy Ricky up in upstate New York. I know that you fucking hated it that I was gonna come on here and do this because you don't think that any of this is tangible. But fuck you, I'm having a good time.
Hey, fuck you, Ricky. Actually, I don't mean that.
Fuck you, Ricky.
Ricky just doesn't understand what this was because you had great stories.
Tell him Ricky eats poop. Ricky eats poop.
Ricky eats a nice 3-course meal when he gets the chance.
Yeah, but he's a great guy, though. I love him. We have a lot of... we always, like, banter with each other back and forth. He said he was going to watch this, so I'm sure he's going to harass me a lot when he watches this. But anyways.
Oh, yeah.
But it was great being on here. And
yeah, dude, thank you for chatting with me.
Yeah, I have a lot of other stuff to say. It can be off the podcast, though. But, yeah, it was good being on here. I liked being on here. It was quick. Dude. It was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're never, I mean, the podcast is never like one big, long, tangible thing forever, you know? It's a lot of just compiling multiple conversations into one episode, right? A lot of the conversations I've had tonight are all probably going to be on one episode, you know, depending on how I edit it.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, you get to edit the femboy. I was at the
that's a crazy podcast title. In quotations, I almost went into a femboy bar. That's kind of a crazy title.
From a creepy English dude that was drunk off his ass. That was trying to lure me in. He was like, "You gotta try it at least once," and I'm like, like the entire time.
All right, well, hey, enjoy the rest of your night. You know,
dude.
I'm sure I'll catch you around here in a little bit, brother.
Oh, most certainly, dude. Yeah, I hope you don't have to edit too much of that out.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It'll get done. Well, you have a good night, brother. I'll try to catch you later.
You have a great night, man.
Yes, sir.
Dude. Yeah, totally, man. We'll chill out and party after this.
Oh yeah. All right, see ya. Do you want to go up next? Come on up here. Hi.
Hi.
How the fuck are you?
I am actually really anxiety filled, but I am.
You're anxiety filled?
I'm good. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
What's making you anxiety filled right now?
Just social interaction in general. I just get bad.
Are you anxious about this moment right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, there is no pressure here whatsoever. Right. I told everyone that was here at the beginning that like conversations are very natural, right? There's going to be pauses. Yeah. You know, there's going to be stumbles. Right. That's just how things are, you know, and that's okay. So yeah, no, there's no pressure here. There's no like I have to immediately say something. You know, there's none of that. So take your time saying anything you ever want to ever for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to talk about?
I did have a topic I've been thinking about for a little bit, and I was like, maybe talk a little bit about my like life journey, you know, life story kind of stuff.
Sure.
Get into that.
Sure. Hell yeah.
I just Okay. So I guess I'll start off where I was born. I was born in Alabama. Um, Growing up, it was kind of difficult. Because well, I caught on. I was very much I wouldn't say a problem child, but it was more like I was really difficult to kind of deal with. And that is because, well, I have autism, so I didn't find out till I was like 19 or 18, one of the two. So it was really a struggle a lot of my life trying to, navigate it, not knowing that, that's what I, had. I mean, we kind of figured, but was never like, set in stone diagnosis, never could get
Sure, yeah.
one. Very hard at that time to try to do something like that. Ever since I was really young, about maybe 6 or 7, I was on different medications for mood stabilizers. I was on depression medication as well. The time passes and I got older. So it's been a little bit of a struggle, from very young since I could remember, and then up until
Oh,
now,
God.
it probably has gotten a little bit better.
I lagged.
Yeah, as an adult.
I lagged out for a
Oh,
second.
you like that?
Keep going. I'm here.
Okay. So based on that information, like I said, from 7 to getting older, I was on different medications, stuff like that. It never occurred to me, that I never really thought about how much, how much I was going through medication, like crazy. Because I was at a doctor's office, and this doctor's office down where I live really loves to give you medication whether you need it for that or not. They just want to give it to you. They just want you to have it.
That's how they make their money.
So they're really big on selling the meds. So from then it's just like kind of like a struggle in a way to try to figure out what's gonna work and what's not. I was more, I want to say I'm kind of in between being an introvert and an extrovert. I had some friends, didn't have very many though. I just really wasn't as social as I probably could and should have been.
Question for you.
Yes.
Do you think like being that, like, I think it's called an omnivert, right? You're like not really introverted, you're not really extroverted, you're like right in the middle. I think a lot of people are like that, right? But like do you think a lot of your introvertedness and like your inability for social situations is hindered because of this medication you were taking?
I kind of think about it, considering how young I was. I want to say that some of it is just because of just basically just how I am in general, based on my diagnosis as well. That's another thing that goes into it. So being social, trying to socialize and things like that is very hard. For somebody with autism, it like makes it like overstimulating too much too fast. But I do think that medication did play a huge part in it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah. So I think some of it really did play a part in it.
How much do you think you understand yourself nowadays?
Well, when I was younger, I didn't completely understand. I didn't understand anything about myself. I didn't, like, even from going up to teenage years, I didn't have a clue, like, why. Because it just took so long to figure out what's going on, what help I needed, like, where I lacked, So I think now I do a little bit more than I did before. Still not not quite all the time. In some parts of my life, but other than that, I think a lot more. Yes, I do. As I've gotten, what I needed to kind of grow.
Mm-hmm. Well, with that being said, who are you? What do you do? What's your deal?
My deal? Honestly, I want to try to get out there. That's the kind of person that I want to be, the kind of person I want to grow into. I don't want to be shoved up in this little, coop-sized bubble, like in the corner, like not, just, I want to be able to understand conversation better. I want to be that outgoing person. Because I know as a kid, I was outgoing with friends, of course, but I was still pretty outgoing. And I've kind of lost that over the years, and then, it kind of got shut away. I couldn't really find that outgoing person anymore. So I'm trying to rediscover basically who I am, in a sense.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of discovering who she is. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a hard question to answer at 21 is who are you?
Yeah.
Because like you're developing yourself. So yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. What are your plans? What are your goals, I guess, in life? What do you? Well, hold on. I'm gonna rephrase that. What do you think you want to do? Where do you think you want to be?
Honestly, at this point in time, I kind of just want to be stable. Like, I just want to be on firm ground, in a sense. And I think I'm really doing good with achieving that. And I feel like I have done what it takes to kind of get just maybe even more than just a little bit halfway there. Because I'm getting more comfortable as I keep going, learning. Because some goals I don't know what I really want to do, but now I'm very comfortable with what I am doing. Work-wise or, just as a person. I do want to keep growing and, just like figuring out more about myself. And I think that with that, it takes so much more self-exploration. And unfortunately, when I was a child, I didn't get to, I'm going to say teenager. When I was a teenager, I didn't really get that chance because I was thrown into, almost, like different situations, like being groomed. Like I was heavily, into deep situations like that. Couldn't get myself out. But I was just a child. No one's gonna blame a child for that.
Right.
For the work done by 20-year-olds. So, but through that I've had to, figure out who I was. Like I said before, I've had to figure it out because it's just been so mind-boggling. Like, just wondering, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with myself? Where do I see myself? Who would I even consider myself to be with? Therefore and thereon. But my goals are just to kind of be stable, have firm ground. I have a house that I'm building. It's a little storage unit.
You're building a house?
Tiny home. I am, yes.
What?
Oh, I just
That's crazy.
Out of my nose.
I saw that. I want to circle around to that, but I want you to know that, like, you're kind of preaching to the choir in terms of like and as somebody who's like neurodivergent and like neurodivergency and shit, like I grew up in a similar way. I don't think I had autism, but I had like heavy, I hate throwing this card around, I had like heavy ADHD. And so this is kind of crazy, right? I think this, and I don't blame anyone for this. I think people were doing what was best for me, right? But do you know what Vyvanse is? Like,
I think so.
Vyvanse is a medication for people with like ADHD or an eating disorder, I believe. And it's an amphetamine. A lot of people call Vyvanse diet meth. I was on Vyvanse. I'm getting a little personal here. I was on Vyvanse when I was 4 years old until I was 18. So my entire childhood, I was on Vyvanse. And I lived a similar virtue where, like, I grew up medicated, and I just never. You know what really happened? And I think I'm projecting here. I think this is kind of what happened to you. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
You lived in this like bubble of like you don't like you kind of lived without like a sense of consciousness or like a sense of being. You just kind of like existed, and you never fully understood. You as in anyone who goes through this, you and me, you never really understood like what your emotions were. You never got to learn like or really understand like what your emotions were and what they mean. And it wasn't until I got off of Vyvanse after I was 18 where suddenly like I was like, I have a fucking personality, you know? And also, in the kind of the catalyst for me to be like, oh, fuck, like, I'm fucking up. I don't know my mind at all, ever. Was because, and I talked about this on the podcast, too, was I cheated on an ex-girlfriend when I was 18, or 17, you know? And that was, like, traumatic for me, because I, like, never, like, I had, it forced me to, like, understand what emotion is and like the consequences, you know, to a lack of sense of emotion. And so I it's kind of the joke I like to make is like I've only been consciousness. I'm 24 now. I've only been consciousness. I've only been conscious for like 6 years. And when like let me tell you. Like, when I was your age, 21, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know what my mind was. Like, I wanted to just be stable because, like, that was the easy answer. And if I could give you any advice ever, you know, because this is, and I'm now grasping this as of just this year alone. I think you should really practice, like, listening to your brain. And like being honest with yourself, not just like don't just like come up with the easiest sense of things, right? Like I like the sense of like I just want to be stable. Yeah, everyone wants to be kind of stable. It's a matter of like how, you know, and that's different for everyone. And that's like being stable is a broad term here, but like just be honest. As you like feel an emotion, be like, why do I feel this? You know, and just talk with yourself. I think a good example I can set for that is like, let's say your sibling comes up and like messes with you, right? Or like picks on you,
right.
And you get pissed, right? But you're like, they didn't really do anything wrong. They're just like getting on your case. Like, let's say somebody like gets on your case about something you could fix. And I think it's easy to just get like pissed off at that and be like, well, fuck you, like get like like I don't like that. But really, you know, regardless of how they approach you, it's still a problem you're facing, you know. So they might just be reminding you of that, and so it's easy to just be like, fuck you, like you know, you resent that. But if you can just be like, yep, they got like, this made me pissed off that they approached me with this problem I'm having. But at the end of the day, and I'm gonna be honest with my mind, I'm gonna be honest. You know, I'm gonna look past my feelings here for a second. They're kind of right. Like I still need this is something I need to do. You know, and it sucks. It sucks doing that. But when you can look past your emotion and come to a sense of like, all right, like this is how I'm feeling about this. It's not easy starting that kind of mental practice, but the more you do it, the more you get better at it. Does any of this make sense? Do I sound crazy? Is this like
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah.
All right, cool.
I was just like fully paying attention.
If I like if I could summarize it, it's practice mindfulness, really, because you're in a situation where like you're also now realizing like I have a brain and I can feel things and think things, and I have a personality. I have things about me I'm workshopping to figure out, right? You know, be honest with yourself. Practice a healthy mindfulness and be honest. And be like, what does that look like? You know, there's shit I need to do that I'm procrastinating on, and I know I'm procrastinating on it, and it's like, I gotta be honest with myself and be like, Jake, just fucking do it. You know, whatever that looks like. And that's, and like, I'm flawed like that. Everyone's flawed like that. You know, everyone's got stuff they constantly are working on, and that never goes away. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's like practice being honest with your brain and your emotions, and look past your emotions and look at the logic of your decisions. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I understood a lot of that.
What do you think about all that?
That was a lot.
It was a lot.
Yeah, no, it's good though. I mean, it's good. Like, I agreed with it all. It's like when I take things in, I just kind of like sit there for a second. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. You know, the great thing about this is this is going up on a podcast, so you can go back. And that's what I love about podcasts. Yeah. I know I'm getting on a fucking tangent, and it's a big inspiration for me as to why I started this. Is like, you never know what you're gonna hear, you know, when you're listening to anything ever. You never know who you're gonna run into, and like this podcast is that outlet of like, who am I gonna run into and they're gonna say something that I would have never heard of if I was never doing this, you know?
Right. Yeah. All the different stuff you get to hear.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I get to go back and I get to listen to all that again. So this is kind of like this podcast is kind of just like a journal.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Life journal.
Pretty much.
I will say everything that I have accomplished, just in, you know, being 21 it's pretty fucking incredible. I mean, I've got my own house. I'm literally like, I've got a job, a pretty good job at that. I mean, I'm pretty stable as it is, job-wise, occupation. And just really going day by day with it. You know, I'm hoping that, you know, once I get more comfortable with myself, I'll, you know, be able to come out more. That makes sense, to come out and, you know, be more confident that I, you know, that I'm good, you know. You know, because like a lot, and that's a big thing too, like the person that inspires me like the most as well, like on top of everything, that's like really got me through everything, is my mom. I love my mom. I fucking love my mom. And I love my dad too. Me and him, we've had a pretty rocky, really, really rough relationship. But my mom has been like my major rock. Like, she's just like there, like she's right there in the corner now. You know, like she's always there.
Is she there right now with you?
No, that was a joke. I'm sorry.
Oh.
No. But I just meant like figuratively, like she's like, you know, there, like in the corner, like I'm just like, if I'm looking, I'm like thinking of her, and I'm like,
she's always there, like, yeah, she's always accessible. What she tell me to do? She's always like,
yes,
she's there for you.
She is.
Hell yeah.
I live 15 feet away from her.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, and then in my teens, that was the hardest thing I've ever had to go through, was in my teens, of how traumatic it really was. And then like, just because it's really morphed a different perspective on my relationships. I know what to look for 100% because of how extreme and bad it was. It was just really traumatic. And so now, you know, when I go back to think about it, and I'm just like, yeah, I know these red flags. I know what I'm looking for. I need to just like kind of be honest with it and push it out and be like, hey, I'm not looking for this and this and this. So if that's what you're, whatever.
Yep.
So I'm very upfront about that too.
You have to be.
That I went through.
In a relationship, you have to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be upfront.
And that was one thing that I've always done. I know that last year, not last year, but about 23, year 23, I was in a relationship with a guy, and he was abusive, and I was just like, oh, I'm just in love with you, like I don't care, like that kind of thing. I never really noticed it till it was really just really late to the party, basically.
Right.
And so it sucked because I loved him so much. And it
but was that love out of complacency, or was it like, were you holding on to something, or was it like?
Oh no, like I just genuinely deeply loved him for who he was. I just loved him in general, but he just turned into a really abusive person.
Yeah.
Just not somebody that in the end I realized I was like, that's not the person that I fell in love with to begin with. I don't know where he's at or what's happening, and I always thought it was sort of my fault, because I was like, I've always tried to give him space, always tried to be there for him. I've tried to just back away, and the more that I got farther away, that's what he wanted, and then a lot of things amongst that would happen. It was really bad, and then he ended up breaking it off with me, and he was like, oh, I'm just some bad guy or whatever, it's not you. And I'm like, okay, well, glad we established that.
Yeah.
But it was the hardest year of my life. I went through a lot.
It sucks grieving over somebody that's still alive, but like the version of them doesn't exist anymore. Like they, and it happens, and it's kind of like there's some acceptance. There's some acceptance that has to play into that, like kind of just like that's just how it was meant to be, right? That's just how it played out. And if things were to have worked out, then it wouldn't have happened, Right. And I get that's very like generic, No.
Yeah. No. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. It just. That's how I see it. So.
No. Yeah.
It's just kind of when I look for somebody now, I just kind of think to myself, I'm just like, I know what I need to look for and what I don't. It just really started off so subtle, so playful, and then it got to something completely different, and I was just thinking to myself, I don't know how I got here, how I got so caught up in it, and I was just glad that honestly in the end that it was over. But it had done a real number on me, a really big one. One that I can't never forget. It's just not gonna leave, and that's fine. Because I've just learned that the experience, whether it lingers or not, I feel like if you can live and learn from that kind of experience. Especially just traumatic ones. I mean, you can just learn to understand yourself kind of better in a way, if that makes any sense. Especially just like romantically, though, I understand myself a lot better than what I grew up, and then what I got into, and then how it all ended. It just went to something.
Yeah, I mean, all you can do is
I'm in a better spot.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, all you can do when you go through like harsh experiences, right, is you grieve, you hurt, I think with time and acceptance and stuff, and I'm making it sound way easier than it really is. With time and acceptance, and just process, you naturally heal, right? You as trauma ends, right? You're now scarred, but then you still live your life, and you go through experiences, and you meet people, and you learn things, and you reflect on things, right? I think to regret is to revisit. You're revisiting memories.
Yeah.
But when you do revisit memories, like, why are you looking back at them? Is it to dwell? Is it to fester? Or is it to like learn?
Right. Yeah.
And I think it's up to anyone when that happens to stop themselves from spiraling when they're in the midst of like thinking through their trauma.
And just kind of
Because
decide when.
ultimately, your trauma, and I'm going to be blunt, your trauma is your problem. And like, it's up to you to figure it out, you know? You can't just sit with it, right? Yeah. Everyone, I feel like, wants to... I'm gonna sound like an old man here. Everyone wants to like identify themselves with trauma, you know, and everyone has harsh times, and that makes sense, right? But like, that shouldn't hinder you from, like, that shouldn't just be this crutch now to like stop yourself from, like finding your own identity or whatever. I don't really know what I'm trying to say. I can't form the words very well right now, but you know, you can still be a good person and have gone through trauma.
Right.
I
agree.
I think, people use it as a crutch and as an excuse to act a certain way.
I agree. Yeah.
And
I 100%
you know,
agree.
and I don't blame them.
Considering that is.
I don't blame them
sorry.
because we no, you're good. We live through our experience and we react based on our experiences. And so when you go through trauma and you don't know how to like figure that out, you naturally become abrasive. I feel you get defensive, you know, stuff like that. But you can get out of it, and part of it is knowing that, you know, trauma is your problem. It's your problem to fix, you know, internally. So yeah.
Right.
Okay. I want to circle back. You said you're building a tiny home out of a shipping container.
I am.
What is that? What does that look like?
Out of a so more like a utility shed. But yes. So far it's not looking good. But eventually once I get better financially, it'll keep coming and it'll keep going. So I plan to just start, you know, inside, do it, you know, sewage lining, you know, stuff like that, septic, you know, running water. Those are important things to me that I really do need. So we're just going to start basically just where we can. That needs it most.
Do you already have the shipping container?
I do. I'm in it right now.
You're in the shipping container right now.
I'm in it right now.
How are you connected to this? How are you here?
How am I here?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm currently, it's a rent to own, so it's about $5,000. But I'm paying triple that, so I'm paying $13,000 for it. Unfortunately, I'm hoping to figure that situation out. But yeah, so it's just put on my parents' land. My parents are literally, wait,
hold on.
Here's their
hold
land.
on.
They're over there.
What is $13,000 to rent? What is that? Are you talking about the shipping container?
The storage shed. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Just to have?
Yes. Just have it.
What the fuck?
Yes, I know. I know. I know.
I'm sorry.
$23.67 a month.
Dude, your rent is $23.67 to live in a shipping container. Yes. Dude, what is going on?
I know. And then I have to go to my parents' house to shower, eat, cook, you know, do laundry, that kind of thing.
Are you not at your parents'? Is this shipping container not at your parents' house?
No. So here's the thing. So my parents have 5 acres of land. I am, let's say, here's their house. They're building their own house. My dad, by the way, I just wanted to shout out to my dad.
Remember, this is audio too when you're explaining this.
I got you. Oh, okay, I got you. So, commend my dad because he built that house over there that they're living in with his bare hands. So that's like amazing. But anyway, we live on these 5 acres of land and we're 15 feet away from each other, like apart. So wherever they've placed it, which is like right in the back, like where they have an open space on their land, they cleared out and I'm just 15 feet straight across.
Okay.
So my little shed is just sitting there, just doing, just sitting there on some blocks.
I want to see what this looks like. Like, how are you connected
I will
how are you
show you.
connected to the internet right now? If you're in this shipping container.
Well, they've got it over there at their house. I'm just like, I get signal very well over here.
Interesting.
Because I don't have to have it because I'm not very far away, and I'll show you once this is all finished and said and done. But yeah, I mean, I've never had anybody have that reaction, so yeah.
Dude,
but, it's a work in progress. But yeah, I don't know.
How can you just buy the shipping container? Because financially, oh my god, dude, oh my god.
Do you want to? I think it's pretty
fucking crazy. I'm sorry. I'm so surprised.
I work somewhere. No, you're fine. I love this. I get paid $11.75 an hour where I work for a key carrier, part time actually, and I'm affording all of this on top of. Well,
and you're able to afford rent?
But yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's wild.
Yes.
11. You're making $11.75. Dude, this is crazy.
$11.75 for key carrier. Yep, part time. Sometimes, most time I get full time hours though, but still, it's still probably not as much as people would like to have these days. But as long as I'm able to pay rent and take care of my cat Pippi,
Pippi.
I don't know.
What the fuck? You have a cat in the storage shed too?
I have a cat. I do. Yep, he lives there too.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. He lives in here too. He's got his little cat tower, and he's got his little toys everywhere, his litter box, food, all that. I've got a fireplace in here as well.
Hell yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
That sounds really cozy.
And a mini fridge. It can be, yeah. It can be. It's just kind of junked up. I want to do yard sale and get rid of some of my stuff. It's just like, oof. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it's a really beautiful storage shed. I mean, it's really, really gorgeous. I remember when I first got it and I went over there, my parents, they texted me and I was working and they were like, hey, do you want this right here? And I was like, yeah, I want it. And so it was just right there on the whim. They were like, here, give me your license, and gave it to them, and I just got it that day. They went and did the paperwork for me.
Nice. That's crazy.
And then they came about maybe 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks later, about a month, and then they put on some blocks, and that it's been like that ever since. I've just been kind of trying to get everything together, which will take a lot of time, but my dad wants to he wants to help me get it all together and make it really cozy and nice in here, and
nice, yeah.
Eventually add on as well. So I after I get this paid off,
you can rent another storage shed.
I get another one.
Build
and then
a bridge like in Minecraft. Two each storage shed.
That's what he wants to do. Yep. We spent a lot of time doing insulation and drywall together, and my little shed, and I don't know. It's really cute in here, and
I just like how do you buy this instead of rent it?
How do you buy it? Well,
like, do you have to, like, are you paying off $13,000? Is that what you're doing?
So
to own it
starts out.
Is it like a loan, or you have like a continuous indefinite amount of rent?
So it's not like a loan or anything. It's like basically maybe like a payment. No, I wouldn't say payment plan. I really don't even know how to explain it, but it's just like they're like, hey, this is for $5,000, but they won't tell you that it's $13,000 because they're going to triple it because they didn't do credit checks, so therefore they're going to expense the amount. So then they're like, hey, here's your fixed amount. Pay this for 5 years, and you won't have to pay anything anymore after 5 years. Pretty much just it, but there was no loan or anything. It was just like, hey, keep giving us money each month, and that's it. And they have actually been really good, because I had times where I've struggled for a month and a half to try to make a payment, and had late fees added.
They're chill.
Waived them.
They're chill
every
like
time.
That. Hell yeah.
Every time.
Hell yeah.
So
Well-
they're like, we understand, all that good stuff.
Hell yeah. You got a cozy little thing going on.
I sure
know?
do. Little cozy thing.
I think you're on a nice little chapter here as your prefrontal cortex starts to develop.
Oh yeah, for sure.
into your mid 20s. So I'm excited for you. That's really cool.
I'm excited for me too.
Yeah. Is there any final things? Or first, was there anything that you wanted to talk about that we never covered?
No, I think we covered it all. I mean, I
Cool.
loved your reaction to me having the storage unit. That was funny. I love that. I was like,
At
oh
first,
my God.
at first I thought it was like a storage, like metal storage container.
No, that's why I was like storage,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
like
Okay.
somewhere where somebody would put tools in, that kind of shed.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Cool.
but
Is
I
there-
think we
is there,
covered it all pretty much.
Is there any final things you'd like to say to anyone listening to this before we end our discussion?
I guess I would just say to honestly, as cringy as it might sound, try to stay true to yourself and understand yourself and give yourself more grace, especially as you're going through hard times. I think it's important, and that's what I've learned. And it doesn't break me, but it does make me. So. Yeah.
Yep. I like it. All right, dude. Well, thank you for talking to a space guy that knows nothing ever about anything except Minecraft.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it. I'm glad
Hell
I got
yeah.
out of my shell.
Hell yeah.
Yay. Okay, I'm gonna back up now. Wait, I can't
All
back up. Hold on. I'm stuck.
Get unlocked from Gogo Loco. Yeah, there you go. I'll catch you around. All right. That's going to do it for this episode of Practically a Podcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I think I'm hoping, with podcast nights, I'm going to be able to roll out episodes a little bit quicker. Since it'll be like a almost guaranteed consistent thing each week that I find people, which is a stretch because you never know when this is new. So some people just might not show up, and that's okay. I think the reason why this podcast is so inconsistent with its posting is because I'm not really guaranteed a conversation every time I hop on here to find people. So if I create a space where people can come to me like podcast night, I think it's I feel like I might have a little bit of a better chance in that. So get this out. Get this out. Especially in VR. If you're in VRChat and you're hearing somebody tell you some crazy story, you should be like, hey, there's this weird, really dumb space guy that does a podcast in VRChat, and you should go talk to him. And then you send him the group thing. You invite him to the group or something. That'd be rad. But yeah. I'm going to add this now at the end of all my outros. I do podcast nights in VRChat through the Practically a Podcast group every Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I am live on Twitch at twitch.tv/JakePhobia. You can find me on YouTube and TikTok at JakePhobiaGuy. And you can find me on Instagram at JakePhobia. And then you can join the podcast VRChat group at prcpod.3644. What's a funny thing I can say at the end? You know what I find to make that you know what I think makes me feel very real in this digital world that we live in? I think what makes me feel real is every time a game on my Steam wishlist goes up on sale, I just don't buy it. Okay, bye.